Good morning. Probably the last thing you wanted to see on this huge screen is me, but here I am, and I wanted to give you some comments about the documents that I had sent you and what I had asked for the executive board to consider, because I really do think that we need to communicate to Dan Hansen that a and a separate PD committee has to be established. It needs to be established with a teacher and administrator as co-chair, so that we can move forward with professional development. John had said that Dan at least says that he wants the PD to be less top down, or at least says that he doesn't want top down, but currently it is, as we all know. And part of this may be having to convince him that that's the case. So, for example, in his K-5 proposal that he made, in the program description, he cites only one of three major areas of professional development in the legislation. He conveniently leaves out in that document the legislation that requires teachers to be part of the committee, which on the PD K-5 subcommittee that was put together, that was not the case. And whether or not it's going to continue, it's still against the principles of the legislation that he, of course, leaves out. There's other legislation comments about the role that teachers should be playing, that teachers need to advise, is the language that currently is in there. And right now, as of Wednesday afternoon, I haven't heard back from Katie Parody about her role in the K-5 product that they produced, and she'll give me some more insight as to the degree to which teachers had a voice. But we certainly did not have a union voice, which is the law. So Dan, we have a problem there. The second thing is that document states, quote, curriculum leaders have a systematic method for supplying our middle and high school teachers with support, or supporting our middle and high school teachers. What is that systematic method that we have for them to support us for professional development? I'd like to know what that is, and why is PD described then as top down on page 4 of that report? In other words, the language says teachers receive. Okay, so the word receive means that somebody gives something to me, that I'm not part of it, that I just receive that, and that we are to receive PD to respond to the changes. And to me, that's what that document's all about. That K through 5 is they've got curriculum that they want to roll out, and they're going to tell you exactly what to do, and they've got those days that are going to be all laid out. And I know Dan has said that he doesn't want to do that, but what he's saying is not what he's doing. The documents that I sent to you include a practice profile for effective PD planning. That was part of my training with Lynette and CEA, and you can see, I hope you have copies of where I placed the district along that continuum. You can take a look at that. Certainly there's room to agree or disagree with exactly where we land, but I think from the development and use of a vision of PD to composition of a planning team, to training for team members, for committee members. We had that one training session 2 years ago now, and that's been it. There has not been time allocated for this, and there's no use of needs assessment where we're involved with that. That's all Dan. And then the defined authority and responsibilities of the planning team about decisions, authority that they have to make, that is absolutely non-existent. So I think I would really like to send these documents to Dan Hansen to let him know, A, where we believe specifically in detail where our district is with professional development, and B, how we think we should proceed. That's the third document that I sent to you, which lists the exact steps that I thought should be taken. Again, these are steps that have emerged from my work with CEA, with Lynette Branham, and primarily the key thing is to establish committees where teachers are on committees and they have responsibility for decision making. Right now, that doesn't exist. So until that happens, we're going to get the same old from our administration. That much is clear. So as far as kind of that CBAM training, someone asked a question, I think. Nancy asked a question about what that is. That is available through CEDL, which is a professional development organization that's not just education, it's a professional organization. And in fact, this summer, August 2nd and 3rd, I believe, I have the opportunity to bring someone from our district over to that training. And John and I talked about this briefly, and perhaps we can target someone on the elementary level so that we have kind of a balance of people who understand what CBAM is, which is concerns-based adoption model. And it's a way to train people on how to identify teachers' professional development needs given student work. Not necessarily given what the district wants you to do, but given overall parameters of district goals, looking at students' work and teachers, leading teachers through process to identify what professional development needs that they have, target that professional development, communicate that to the professional development committees that should be school-based, and then which are funneled up to the larger PD steering committee, so that it's the exact opposite direction of professional development than what we currently have in our district and what I think Dan Hansen more or less has planned, even though he says that he would like, or that he thinks that he's moving toward not a top-down model. So I'm going to stop babbling. I wish you all well. It's Monday morning, so when you're hearing this, so I'll be day 3 deep into exams and the probably urban bourbon trail that I'll be doing at night. See ya.